Okay, when creating an estimate, you are going to go to the home screen. You're going to select estimating. You can either click on service quotes, which will bring up a new quote, or you can go to review and edit prior quotes. Review and edit prior quotes has a filter in it in which you can filter by estimator, you can filter by quote number, or you can filter by job name, customer company, and or customer name. Uh, so from here, you're going to select, if we're doing a new quote, we're going to do create new quote, and this brings up a similar look to the one that we had prior. You are going to select the estimator, and it will auto-populate with the estimator email, the estimator phone number, and it adds the next quote number available. From here, you're going to choose from a list of customers that we have worked for in the past. When you add a new customer in here, it adds them to this list so that if you are populating again in this future, any newly added customers will now show up in here for the future. From here, you're going to type in the job name. This will be what the file name is on the quote. The quote address is the area where you will be performing the work. So for this one, and when filling out the address, it will actually auto-populate with the address. And then there's two ways to do this. You could either write the name of the place. It's almost like a Google search, and it will populate. I'm using Home Depot for an example. As you can see below, there's the address. This one is University of Rochester. So, and you can see it populated the address in there. You can put your plan, start date, and working hours. This is more reference for the field guys, but because that will go on the estimator notes and media. This is optional. It doesn't show on the quote. These three down here. Next, you're going to go to estimator notes and media. As you can see, this section is only for the field guys. What happens is a report gets generated. Uh, there's two PDFs that get sent to you after the fact. One is estimator notes and media, and the other is the actual quote itself. The estimator notes and media is your notes that you take in the field so that you can have an easy print off for the field guys to see. So for here, I would write something like room location for Tempstat. And then if I had a picture of it, I would upload that picture right here. I don't have any pictures of that right now, so I'm just going to put something in here so you can kind of get a look at that. Or let's use location of job site. Okay. So scope details, this is what the customer sees. This is actually what the quote PDF gets generated off from. So for here, I will write electrical work for biochem lab renovation. And I'm gonna write room 3.24, and here's where I will fill in all the details. All these details will go on the quote. So this is where you want to get more detailed. Um, So I'm going to go ahead and fill these out for a second. I'm just going to pause this video and then I'll start re-recording again. Okay, so once you've kind of gotten all your details and stuff in there, then what you're going to do next is you're going to go over your labor. This is a labor calculator. This will go onto your estimation sheet that gets sent to you, but more or less it's a tool to help you quote your cost for the job. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick your local, you're going to select the shift that the job is planned for. You are going to select from here the labor classification so you can mix and match, right? So if I'm going to send just a service tech, and I think that I'm only going to need one of them, and I'm planning for 1 work days, the total cost for classification comes to 1,040. So based on the job I'm looking at, let's see here, we are going to go with a journeyman, probably a small job foreman. And then I'm going to select then that you can mix and match your labor classifications. I'm going to go with another small job, or let's say a journeyman. And this job is probably going to take about, I would say probably close to 3 weeks with 2 guys. Okay. So you can add more. You can continue to mix and match this material. So if you want, this is also just gets shown on the estimation report that gets sent out. So I'm just going to put some of this on here. Let's put 3-way switches. Okay, so once you've gotten some of your material listed on there, I'm just putting it on here for reference right now. So you can see how it shows up later. You're going to go to review. Your labor amount automatically transfers over. You are going to add your updated material cost. So what we were looking at for material was about, okay, and then you can choose what your markup is going to be. I'm looking at a labor of about 22,320 and my estimated material costs, which I want to make sure. Looks about right. And then here you can kind of play with your markup, right? So yeah, based on this, I'm looking at about 8,500 material costs and labor at about 22,000. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the estimator email, and I am going to save it. So what you're looking at right here is this email quote tool. If you wish to save and not send, you just don't, you would leave this section blank right here. So if you do that, it's just going to save it on here. No one's going to get the email. So that's something that if I'm in the field and I'm taking quotes just on my estimator notes. So I'll show you right here one. I was doing this church walkthrough the other day, and you can see here on my estimator notes of media, I was taking a lot of photos of locations of things. So, and the reason for that is this gets printed up in the estimator report that I'm just going to show you. And we actually should have gotten, let's see here. So right here we have our biochem lab. And what I'm going to do is I am going to click estimator email. I just want to make sure that's set to myself, because that is who is going to receive the email. James Rafferty, yep, so that's going to go to me. And then I'm going to save it. And then once it saves and this little guy is done syncing, you're going to see this quote pop up here. And then in my email, you're going to see, here's your quote. And this is going to have everything listed from the scope details that you can forward along. His address, it just doesn't have the customer name, email, and phone number because we didn't fill that out. And then it's got all the details that you listed on there and then the final quote amount. So you can forward that along to the customer. And then in here, this is your estimator notes, right? So in your estimator notes, this is where he wrote down scope details, and then here's your field notes and media, right? So this is that one section on the job details where we wrote in our estimator notes and media. So you can see where this would be beneficial if you were printing it off as something to hand to the guys. So that's essentially what this is. You scroll down further, it gives you the material list. So this could be an easy printable thing that you could print off, hand to the guys, and they could use it to kind of get an idea of what they're going to need when they're starting this job. So, and that is really it.